guys, it's Bobby. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome back. If you've been here for a little while, I thought that I would go through my planning process today, the monthly process and the weekly process. So if that's something that you're interested in, stay tuned. Okay, so sometimes I'll watch planner videos, like if I'm in a planner funk or in a rut, try to get some new ideas on how other people do things. Maybe I see something that I've never considered before, and then I'll incorporate that into my planning routine. Sometimes they stick, sometimes they don't. It just depends on what works best for you and your stage of life. So today I wanted to go through my monthly and my weekly planning process. I'm not going to plan anything. I'm just going to walk you guys through it in hopes that you'll find it helpful. Maybe you can incorporate some of these things into your own routine, only if they pertain to you and your current position in life, okay? So anyway, let's get in. So we're going to start with the monthly planning. So the first thing I do, let me move my coffee out of the way. There we go. The first thing I do with my monthly planning is I go to my monthly calendar. So as you guys know, let me get you in frame better. Oops, sorry. As you guys know, my divider for my monthly is in the current month. So, excuse me. So let's just say we're going to be planning for November, which is probably going to be here tomorrow, it seems like. Anyway, the first thing I would do is I would pull out my monthly pages and put them flat, on the table or the desk or whatever area I'm working on. And then from there, I go to my perpetual calendar, which is golly day, which is back here. Okay, so this is my perpetual calendar. That it's a fillable PDF that I got from, I believe it's Hey Planner Girl. The file comes with like 3 or 4 different styles, so you can choose which one you want. Fill in the dates, print it. I laminated mine because I printed my trigger list from Brown Plans on the front, since I use this insert quite often. So I'll look in November and see what we've got coming up, other than Thanksgiving, the last Thursday of the month. But my brother's birthday and my sister's birthday are also that month. I wouldn't need, to pull this out for November because I know it's my brother and sister's birthdays, and Thanksgiving. But for the sake of this video, this is what I do. You can see August is pretty busy. Every space is filled there with birthdays and anniversaries and whatnot. So I'll put these dates on the calendar on my monthly. So you can see that, I've already filled in my brother's birthday and my sister's birthday. I filled in Thanksgiving. And then I filled in the schedule for bonus daughters visits. So that's the first thing that I do. And then, I go around I turn it over to the trigger list, and, I just go through these. Sometimes I have a separate sheet of paper that I jot things down on. Other times I just write them in the calendar as I go through it. So I don't have as much waste with paper. So I go through these things. Typically, I don't have anything to fill in from the triggers list because life, fortunately, isn't as hectic as it used to be. So, I pretty much know what's coming up, and I fill in things as I go. So, for example, if I made a doctor's appointment, if I'm on the phone scheduling the appointment, I have my calendar open. So that's that. However, if I were to say make a dentist appointment and then, I have my 6-month follow-up or, re-cleaning or whatever you want to call it, I would, jot that down in my future planning somewhere, put a sticky note like in the December calendar and then move it, accordingly. But, that's what I use this for. And I got this, I don't know if you recall from my previous video, where I mentioned this insert here. It's part of the yearly bundle from Peanuts Planner Co. I wasn't sure what I was going to use this for, and I made the comment that, you could use it as a perpetual calendar if you wanted to. Well, I had this thought like very early this morning. I don't know, like 4:30 this morning. Y'all know we get up with chickens. Anyway, I had this thought this morning, there's a lot of local events that happen, in my area and areas somewhat close. So, and especially this time of year when you're coming on fall and then winter, you've got the holidays coming and whatnot. And with us getting bonus daughter every other weekend, I'm trying to figure out things that we can do when she's with us. And I got a newspaper. Yeah, blast from the past. I got a newspaper in the mail earlier this week, or maybe it was Saturday, I'm not sure, that had like a local events calendar in it with some things that are coming up. So and it had a website that I could go to see the online calendar. So I made a note to use this for upcoming local events and activities. So I figure, what I could do is I could just fill in, on the months. So, like for October, I could just fill in a few events that are coming up this month. And same way with November and December. And then when I print out my new one for 2025, I can, pre-populate as much as I can, with what's available on the website for the events calendar and so on and so forth. So then if I do decide to use this for that, when I do my monthly planning, I will also pull this out, and move it over, to move over the events to my monthly calendar. All right. And then, so I haven't started this yet. Like I said, I just had this idea very early this morning. So I'm going to go through that, online calendar this afternoon and try to see if there's any events coming up that, we want to go to that we might be interested in. And it's not just for when we have bonus daughter, hubby and I need some activities to do, like on our dates, like whether it's date night or a day date, with him working 6 days a week. We typically just, have Saturday afternoon, when he comes home, Saturday afternoon, early evening, because the schedule is the same. It's still 6 a.m., start time at work, which means we still get up at 4 a.m. on Saturday. All right, sorry about that, guys. I had someone come up to the door. Anyway, yeah, so, hubby still has to, we still get up at 4 a.m. on Saturdays, so for him to be to work by 6. So, I don't want to keep him up, too terribly late on Saturdays. I don't want to be up too terribly late on Saturdays, because, at the end of the week, getting up at 4 a.m., at the end of the week, you're really dragging ass. So, we try to go to bed early. And when I say early, between 8 and 8:30, we go to bed. And then that way we can still get up halfway early on Sunday morning. I want to say anywhere between 6 and 8, we get up naturally on Sunday mornings. So, we can have breakfast. We have the majority of the day, to get some things done. Typically, we just hang out around the house on Sundays, especially now that football is on. He and I are both, avid fans. So I usually do like a big crock pot dinner on Sundays, to get us through the bulk of the week, with leftovers, because I'm still not used to only cooking for 2 people. So, I tend to make enough to feed a small army. But anyway, so yeah, I might start using this. I'm gonna try it out the last part of this year, the last 2.5 months of this year, to see how this works before I determine whether or not I want to move forward with using it this way for 2025. So, and once I have all of my information and everything is populated on my monthly calendar, that's it. I take the month, and then I will start working on my weekly planning. So, as you all know, with my weekly planning, let's get to a blank one. These inserts are from Haru Plans on Etsy. So my weekly planning, the calendar is up here at the top left. The month, the days of the days of the weeks are here. My priorities, a checklist. I don't really use this section too much, every once in a while, but it all depends on when I start working outside the house, I might start using this a little bit more. I don't know yet. Over here, I've been using this as like a meal plan or a workout tracker, or maybe even both. Depends on how big I write and what kind of information I want to put in there. I don't use this note section at all, so I'm thinking about maybe finding a quote, or a nice, a cute little image, for, to like represent that week or the month, and just, put that in there in my PDF editor. I'm not really sure, what I'm going to do with that. So when I do my my weekly planning, I take these inserts out, lay them flat on the table or the desk or the space wherever I'm doing my planning. And then I open, my monthly calendar, since everything has just been moved to that. And then from there, I fill in the weeks with the day and time specific appointments and things that need to be done there. Now, one thing that I do that's extra for the weekly planning is, you guys know I have like this to-do section, and I will pull out my to-do lists. So because I want to incorporate as many of these tasks as I can, to get done during the week when I have time. So, for example, if I have some time this week, like to clean out my car, which might typically be on a Saturday, since, my husband's working, I'm already in that cleaning mode, because I'm doing the laundry and the vacuuming and, the scrubbing of the bathroom and everything like that. I might go ahead and do that then. It all depends on how messy my car is. Right now, I don't need to clean out my car, really, because I haven't been in it I think since January. I haven't been in my car since January. Now, I did have to use it a couple of weeks ago when hubby's battery died at the gas station, so I had to go get him. But I had to use the jump pack to start my car because my battery was dead. It hadn't been started in like 9 months. So, but anyway, there's a couple of things that I need to do. I think I have some stuff in the trunk, out of sight, out of mind. You don't even think about your trunk most of the time. But if I'm going to go back to working outside the house, I'll probably, do like grocery pickups, like before I come home. So that way I don't have to do it on the weekends. I don't know, but I want my trunk cleaned out, so that's why it's on my to-do list to clean out the car. And then, I've got planned dates, which is what the other calendar is going to be for right now. And paint chair, that's probably going to come off because I don't give a shit about this chair anymore. I just don't care. It's been on my to-do list for months. It hasn't gotten done, so it's not that important to me. It's not high on my priority list at all, so to hell with it. I'm just going to cross it off and move on. I do want to organize my dresser, but I'm going to wait until, the seasons truly change. So that way when I'm organizing my dresser, I can just call out the summer clothes and then put in my winter stuff. I don't want to organize it now and then next week have to, swap out my wardrobe. Do you know what I mean? So I'm trying to do everything, work smarter, not harder. I need to do my 2025 goals. That's coming up. That's gonna stay on my to-do list for a while. I am working on it. I have a section in my inbox where I'm working on what I think I want my goals to be. I'm the kind of person, when I'm setting goals, I would jot down my initial thoughts and ideas, and then I'll leave it, and then I'll come back to it. Because I want to make sure that those goals are going to be some things that I stick to. I don't want to write down goals just to write down goals and check it off my to-do list. Yeah, I set my 2025 goals. No, I want to actually achieve the goals that I set for myself. Otherwise, what's the sense in setting goals? So anyway, and then I want to destash my my Moterm personal covers. I have an A5 File Effects Malden cover that I want to get rid of too, so I need to work on that. And then I want to create some goals inserts. Again, I'm working on that in tandem with my 2025 goals. Okay, so I'm hoping that that'll be finished. That the inserts will be finished in the next couple of months. Anyway, I want to find my SHRM book. I gotta fix the tag on my car, and I want to fix my evil eye bracelet. So, what I would do is when I see those things, I'm like, okay, what are things that I can do this week? Okay, well, I want to find my SHRM book. Well, SHRM, is for human resources. To find that, I have a pretty good idea of where it is. I just have to get up off my butt and go look in the spot I think it is. And then I can check that off my list. So, what's that take? Just like 30 seconds? You know what I mean? So, I can put that anywhere. I can get that done at any point in time. I can get it done at 4:30 in the morning. I can get it done at 5:30 in the evening. I can look just before we go to bed. But it's just a matter of putting it on my list. Where on my list? So let's open up this week. So, okay, this is this week. So, where on this list, where on my calendar can I put, look for SHRM book? Okay, well, today's Tuesday. I can't vacuum today because I cleaned the filters. I wash the filters in my vacuum cleaner, and I let them air dry. And they're still a little damp because it was cool in here overnight, so they didn't dry like I thought they would. So these vacuum hall and vacuum bedrooms, that needs to be pushed off to tomorrow. So I clean the bathroom, and I can look for SHRM book. Okay, so let's just write that down. Let me switch you. I'm going to put you sideways here. So I'm just going to put on here, find SHRM book. Okay, so it's on the calendar, but now you guys know that I'm not going to cross it off on my to-do list until I've either found it until I found it. If it's not in the place that I think it is, then I need to, regroup and be like, okay, well, if I was this SHRM book put somewhere by a crazy person, where would that be? Because it should be in my desk. Which drawer, I'm not sure, but there's only so many drawers I can look in. So, I need to find that. Did I throw it away? Did I toss it out because maybe it was outdated or whatever the case may be? I don't know. But, it's only going to take me a few minutes. It's going to take me 30 seconds to get my lazy ass up off of this couch and go open the drawers in my desk. So I will do that today. And then when I either find it or I remember by happenstance what I did with it, I'll check it off here, and then I'll check it off on my to-do list. Okay? So, and now that my husband is working like a normal schedule where we can have dinner together every day. Sorry for shaking the tripod, y'all. I have gotten back into the habit of meal planning, which is why, I've been using this over here. Of course, I didn't fill it in this week because we've been having leftovers, but let's go back to the week before. Maybe, all right. So this is the week before: leftovers, tacos, pizza, grilled cheese. We didn't actually do spaghetti that night. We did some random like chicken taco thing. And y'all, I took the pizza cutter and the flour tortillas. I took like 3 of them, and then I cut them, like you would cut a pizza. And I deep fried them in the Fry Daddy and made my own like tortilla chips. Holy smokes, you guys. We're having tacos for dinner tonight, because it's Tuesday. And who doesn't have tacos on Taco Tuesday? Anyway, we're having tacos for dinner tonight, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to deep fry up some of the tortillas, and I'm going to put my taco meat on top with my cheese and my lettuce and my sour cream, and I'm just going to have nachos. You know what I mean? So it was so good. It was filling. Like I didn't want anything else, afterwards. Typically when we have tacos, I usually make like a taco bowl, not out of a tortilla or anything. I just put the meat and everything in a bowl and just eat it that way. But I want the carbs. I want those chips to go along with it. And they're so light and fluffy, and oh my gosh, so good. So good. I highly suggest take a couple of tortillas and cut them into little triangles like you would a pizza and deep fry those suckers. I don't think they're going to work in the air fryer because the air fryer likes to suck up the tortilla. But do your own research with that. In my experience, the air fryer sucked it up, and it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. So I know deep frying food's not good for you. Don't come at me for that. It's once a week with some tortillas. It'll be okay. If that's the worst thing I do with my diet or my life, I'm golden. Okay? Okay. So, but anyway, so today is Tuesday. So like I said, we're going to do tacos. So I'll write tacos in here. Yesterday I had leftovers. He had a couple of turkey wraps. If you watched my previous videos, you know he's not a fan of leftovers, so it's on him. I'm probably going to have the last of the leftover spaghetti today for lunch, and then I can get that out. I got to figure out what to have tomorrow and Thursday, because Friday morning when he goes to work, I'm leaving with him to go to my mom's. We'll be at my mom's all week next week to babysit her cat while she's on her cruise. So I don't want any leftovers. I don't want anything in their fridge because it's going to have to get thrown away. So I'm thinking maybe tomorrow we'll do scrapple. And then Thursday we'll just do like pizza. So that won't give us, none of that'll give us leftovers. So let me fill in my habit tracker while I'm working on it. Okay. Anyway, so, then I would just meal plan, just here. And, if something changes, I don't make note of it here. Unless it's something like really drastic. So like if we decide to go out tomorrow night for dinner, I might cross through Scrapple and just write out. So that way that triggers me to know, hey, I still have that pound of Scrapple in the freezer. We can have another day, like when we come back, or maybe I can make it the Sunday when we get home next week, for breakfast, stuff like that. And then once I get my weekly filled out, then, I go over to my daily pages, and, you guys have seen me, plan out, do my dailies. So I take out the pages that I need for that week. I've started writing the weather at the top, just because, like, I'm curious, like if I'm looking through, like say the night before, like last night, I was in my book checking off my tasks that I completed, and I looked at today's page just to get an idea, like a rough idea of what the weather was going to be like. But I think, 41 was the low last night, and 61 is the high for today. Y'all, it's chilly here. And I was warm last night, so the air condition was on, all night. So, man, when I tell you that neither one of us wanted to get out from underneath those blankets this morning, I'm no fooling. So, but we did not want to get out of bed. But anyway, and then, so I just, I do one page per day, the day of the week, the weather, the date, and then, my top 3, take vitamins, dishes, make bed. They're all the same. It's on every single page, and yes, I know it's on my, my habit tracker as well, but having them on here, having them on my daily page is a trigger for me to update my weekly. Now, I've started putting, update weekly, on my daily page, just as an extra reminder, because if, out of sight, out of mind, if I don't go back there, I don't fool with it. And that's it for the week. Now, one thing I forgot to mention with my monthly planning is my habit tracker here. This is an insert from SM Plans. I just started doing this again in September, and I didn't finish it. What did I get to in September? Halfway. Yeah, September 14th. So not even halfway. So, so far in October, I've been using it every day. I'm just not doing a lot of these habits every day. Like, what's today? Was it 14th? I read yesterday. And I journaled yesterday. I just didn't walk yesterday. So I'm tracking, these habits: vitamins, walk, read, journal, gratitude, and dishes. And then I'm tracking my mood. I just want to see what that is. So when I do my monthly planning, of course, I'll have a blank one ready to go because it's, September and October. And then, so I'll have November and December ready, when I sit down and do my monthly planning for November. And then, I'm trying to decide on my habits, because once I decide on my habits, then I'll just use my PDF editor to type in my habits or the things that I want to track. And then my mood, I think, is pretty set. These are pretty much my feelings, or the moods that I'm most likely to be in. So we'll see. And I'm tracking something here because, I need to determine the source of my frustration. I think I have a rough idea of what it is right now. So I need to get to the bottom of it, to see if that's the case. Okay. So that's that for my planning process. Now, I was using like little task cards, like I've mentioned to you before, that I keep back here. I think, let me get this, maybe. Okay, so here's my weekly, where you do like a weekly recap, next week's goals, transfer tasks, next week's tasks, monthly calendar, schedule week, master tasks, and delete the photos off my phone. I created these task cards several years ago. I just printed this stuff on my label maker and just stuck it to these cards. I don't know where I got these cards from. But, anyway, this is not something that I do on a regular basis. I mean, like, yes, of course, if there are things in my weekly, so if there are things on this week that don't get done, and when they do not get done, I put an X next to them. So, like, for today, vacuum hall and vacuum bedrooms, those aren't going to get done today because my filter is still wet. So I'm going to put an X through them, and then I will move them over to tomorrow. So I will put vacuum hall and vacuum bedrooms on my list for tomorrow. And then when they're finished, they get a check mark. If something is canceled, like this interview here, it's canceled for Wednesday for tomorrow, so I'm just going to draw a line through it. I don't really like doing that, and I've thought about using like my friction erasable pen for appointments and such, so that in the event they are canceled or rescheduled, I can erase them. But I don't want to carry two pens. I don't want to do all that extra stuff, and I don't want the whiteout. I'd much rather have the line versus the whiteout. So I'm going to put on here vacuum hall, and vacuum bedrooms. Now, on the off chance that they don't get done tomorrow, and I know that I'm not going to do it on Thursday, because Thursday is going to be busy enough with my interview in the afternoon. I've got a lot of stuff to do around here in the morning, before the interview, and then I have to, carve out time to get ready for the interview. Even though it is Zoom, I would like to have my hair straight and, and my face on, and be presentable, at least from the waist up. I have to clean out the refrigerator. I have to go through and get everything done that I need to, and take out the trash, make sure things are put away. It's getting colder, so now I'm concerned about mice. So I want to make sure that, if there's like the bread, all the bread needs to go inside the microwave. If it's stuff that's gonna last. So if it's a loaf of bread, it'll probably get eaten or thrown away, or maybe I'll throw it out for the birds, whatever. But like we've got tortillas, so we've got wraps. I'll probably take some of those. I'm going to take my wraps with me to my mom's because I use those for breakfast. So, I also have to pack. And when I mean pack, I don't just mean like an overnight bag. I have to make sure all of the laundry is done by Thursday, so that whatever clothes are dirty that may be needed are clean and packed. I have to pack groceries. We're essentially moving for a week. So, and my mom doesn't eat a lot of the same stuff that we do. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to be at her house eating up all her food, so I got to pack our grocery bags, now, obviously, the stuff that's refrigerated or whatnot, I will pack, because we have the reusable bags in Delaware. They don't have plastic bags anymore. They don't give you paper. You have to buy the paper bags. But, so I need to, to get all that kind of stuff done. But if I don't get the vacuum hall and vacuum bedrooms done tomorrow, I know they're not going to get done Thursday. So, what I would do if they don't get finished is I would move them over to the first day of the new week. So whatever doesn't get finished in this week will immediately get moved over to the first day of the new week, because it's carryover. That's how I do it. If it's carryover, it gets done first. First in, first out kind of thing. If you're, used to that inventory thing and, for business. Anyway, now that doesn't mean that's a higher priority than something else that may come up on Monday. Let's just say Monday, God forbid, I have to be somewhere, or whatever, then that would come first. But now here's the kicker. This week here is the week we're going to be at my mom's. So if I don't vacuum the hall or the bedrooms tomorrow, and I don't get to them on Thursday, Friday morning I'm out of here, and I won't come back until probably Saturday night. So this week's gonna be pretty blank, as far as my stuff is concerned, because I'll be at my mom's. Yeah, I'm gonna vacuum, at her house. Yeah, I'll have our laundry to do, while we're there. And yeah, I'll have to meal plan, but that's essentially it. You know what I mean? I'm going to be bored to friggin' tears. I'm saving a couple of books, so that I can read those. I might record a couple of short little videos for you guys. I don't know. I'm not taking my tripod or anything. So, but anyway, so pretty much I need to make sure that the hall and the bedrooms get vacuumed tomorrow at all costs, no matter what happens. Because if not, it'll be a week before I get back to them. And I need to, oh look, this is the last of October, so I need to print the next month's inserts, because it's the 27th. So next week is the 21st to the 27th, and I need to make sure that I have these ready to go for when I come back, because I don't want to have to come home, print inserts, unpack, and do all the things. You know what I mean? So I'm going to try to, maybe I'll do that today. What's today? Today. Okay, so I'm going to cross these off. All right. Print weeklies. Okay. All right, so there's that. So whatever doesn't get finished, immediately gets migrated over. Okay. And then, like I said, these task cards, I know it's probably difficult for you guys to see because it's white. Master task list, which is essentially my to-dos, schedule the month, and then archive. See, I don't, yeah, start over. Wow. I don't archive anymore. I don't keep inserts. When I keep the full year in for, monthlies. So I have all of them, from January back, through to December. So, when the year is over, and after I've done my yearly planning, or, yeah, I've done the planning at the end of the year for the coming year, these inserts will come out and get thrown in the trash. At the end of the month, with my weeklies come out, go in the trash once all the information has been collected. Okay? Dailies, again, they get thrown away. I might keep the previous month. Just on the off chance I need to, I may need to go back to a certain day and reference something, but I keep no more than a month. So when October is over, all of September will come out and get thrown away. I will keep October as I'm working through November. That's it. At the end of the year, I will keep December while I'm working through January. And I just throw everything away. I'm not going to archive stuff. I mean, I used to do that, but then I realized I never went back to it. I never used it for reference, nothing. So I was just hoarding all of these used inserts for no reason. And I'm not about hoarding anything for no reason. I don't want crap. I don't want stuff just to have it. If you archive your inserts, let me know in the comments below and let me know how many times you've actually used them, since archiving them. Like, what have you had to reference? You know what I mean? That you didn't put on another list. I've had certain people tell me, oh, they reference car maintenance. Okay, well, when do you know when you had your car serviced? By the little sticker on the windshield that they usually put? Or do you keep it on a separate insert for vehicle maintenance? And if so, why are you keeping your whole year of inserts from like 3 years ago? I do not understand that. So again, educate me. Please comment below if you archive your inserts and tell me how many times you've referenced them and how far back you've had to reference, because I'm really, really, really curious. So, but anyway, okay. So I just throw my stuff away and that's it. No harm, no foul. I don't care. I don't care. I don't need to go back. If it's something super important, it'd have a separate insert. Do you know what I mean? So, or I put it in the Google Calendar. So then I can search. That's the one thing that I like about digital is I can go into the Google Calendar and search for certain things. I can't, no matter how many times I archive, you cannot go through your archive pages and search. Now you can if you scan them into, something like Evernote or something like that. But I'm not going to pay for a subscription to do that, to use once a year, maybe. So it's just, no, it's time to start being, financially responsible. It's time to, to start having, better use of my time. So I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it. So anyway, this went on a little longer than I initially planned for it to, but you know what happens when you get talking. So, these I'm probably going to redo. I think I said that in my last video. I think I'm going to redo these. I might just get rid of them entirely because I've pulled them out more in the last couple of weeks doing these videos than I have in the last 2 years. And it just doesn't make any sense to me to keep them if I'm not using them. I have a couple other ideas that I might work on and see how I might test out to see how they work, but I'll keep you posted. So anyway, I hope you find this video helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment below. So until next time, enjoy your day. Bye-bye.